forever. X-Files. But personally, I'm a big fan of his work in Kings of Con. You know him, you love him, doing his first creation event for Supernatural. It's Mitch Pileggi.
Share the stage with Loud and Swing, shape, form, or anything else.
That's the kind of warm reception the boys love.
Well, we're honored that you're here. We're so glad you're here.
Well, thank you, man. It's like it's always good to see these cats. You know, I don't get to see them often enough, but when I do, it's such a treat.
And I don't think I'm ever going to say this on stage, but Robbie and I remember when you agreed to do Kings of Con, we were like giddy schoolgirls. We couldn't believe you were actually going to come down and play with us. And
I couldn't believe I was going to come and play with you.
A, he's lights out hilarious, spot on timing, and B, I've never seen somebody enjoy handcuffing you over and over again more.
It was a treat that I dream about.
I bet you do. Ladies and gentlemen, Mitch Pileggi.
Do I have to stand the whole time? Is that part of it?
No, you can sit. There's a stool right there.
Because I'm old. I'm old and I'm tired, I'm hurting, and everything else. How y'all doing? Most of y'all from Vegas? Where'd y'all come in from?
Ohio.
Ohio. Every place, everywhere. This is Supernatural, man. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. What a great venue and place to have these things. This is my first one that I'm doing with Supernatural creation. I've done some overseas with them, but this is the first time that when we were doing the X-Files, creation used to run our conventions back in the 90s, and it was always a great treat and a lot of fun to go on those things. But conventions back then were a completely different animal than what they are these days. But I'm glad that the guys and from the show get to roam around the country and meet you guys and talk to you. And I'm glad that you guys get to meet them and see what wonderful people they are working on this show. I mean, obviously you guys know, but it's for me, it was the first episode that I did on the show after being around Jared and Jensen for a couple of days. I hadn't met Misha yet, but that happened. But after being around them for a couple of days, I took Jensen aside and I said, "You guys really got your head screwed on right. Keep it up, because it's obvious, what kind of people they are." And I think a lot of it, having spent a lot of time in Texas, I think it's the fact that they're a couple of Texas boys. But I love them dearly, and it was a great time to work on the show. I know that Samuel Campbell's probably not one of your favorite. I guess he was a little too grumpy with Dean. But I had a great time working with the guys, and I gave them a lot of material to make fun of me over the time that I was working on the show, and they can have as much fun with it as they want to. But yeah, here we are. If I understand there's some mics set up someplace, I'm not going to sit up here and babble. If you guys got questions, want to know anything, those are really bright lights back there. If you got any questions, want to know anything about anything,
they're on the sides. On the sides.
On the sides? You're on the side. That okay? There and hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. What's your name?
Caitlin.
Caitlin, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So I was just really curious to know if Samuel was still around, and knowing that Mary came back from the dead, I was just wondering what kind of interaction that would be for Samuel to see his daughter like all grown up and not just like a little girl or like a young.
She was pretty grown up when.
Like more like a young adult.
Okay. I think, you know, I guess when he came back, he was trying to accomplish that, bringing her back, right? Is that what was going on with that storyline? Something like that, I think. You know, I think that it'd be a weird situation if they were both back in the first place, you know. But I think that, you know, he probably would have. I don't know. I really don't know. I think that it would have been great for him to be around his daughter again, but it's just, I mean, it's the whole thing is so unnatural in itself that it was like kind of weird.
Did you say it was supernatural?
You know, he's sitting there looking at a picture of his daughter, and they're, oh, she's dead, and you know, whatever. Yeah. So I guess that's about all I got with that.
All right. Well, thank you.
You bet. Good talking to you. Hi.
Hello. I just want to say it's so awesome to see you, and I'm so glad you're here.
Well, thank you, darling. I appreciate that.
And my question is, if Crowley resurrected Samuel, do you think that he was in hell, and where do you think he went when he died?
I'm sorry, ask me that again.
Sorry. If Crowley resurrected Samuel, then do you think that he was in hell at the time, and where do you think he went when he died?
Man, I don't. You know, I've been trying to figure that out ever since I left the show. Where the hell? Where was he? Where were he? And you know, Sam. I just. Were they in a purgatory? Were they in hell? Did they bring him back? Where'd they bring him back from? And why was his head shaved when he came back? What happened? Did he go someplace where you can't have hair? Did it burn his hair off? I don't know. But I really don't know where he was. You know, I don't think that I gave enough thought to the whole thing, and probably would have been a lot better if I had. But I don't know where he was. It's some type of purgatory that they were being held in until such time as they came back. And you know, Sam came back broke, and Samuel was a dick. So. Sorry, did I say that? Is that?
Yep.
Okay. Do the other guys cuss a lot?
Yes.
All right.
Well,
yeah.
the girls more.
So that's you know, I think that's probably, yeah. Where do you think he was? Crowley was just doing all kinds of weird shit, wasn't
like
he?
maybe like Crowley had like kept his soul like he did Bobby that one time to like use as a reserve or something.
Okay. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, darling. Hi.
Hi. My question is, what was your favorite episode of Supernatural to work on, and why was it your favorite?
I think the first one that I did, you know, turning into the yellow-eyed demon was a lot of fun. I got to get close to Jensen and sniff him a little bit. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Am I right? But yeah, I really had a lot of fun working on that episode, and you know, the different changes they took the character through in that episode, and that really, I mean, honestly, that scene with Jensen. When he turned into the yellow-eyed demon, or when I turned into the yellow-eyed demon, it was so much fun. It was really well written scene, and I had a ball doing it. But I'd have to say that first one.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Hi.
Hi. So I'm obviously a huge Supernatural fan, or else I would not be here. But I have to confess that when I first saw Grandpa Campbell on screen, my thought was Skinner. So.
Who didn't think that?
So I'm wondering if you can confirm or deny, for the record, Skinner's unrequited crush on Scully.
You know, I have gotten in so much trouble with that question, because if I play to it and I make shit up and go, oh yeah, you had a huge crush on her, it's like people don't dig it. They don't, because it's like, you know, Mulder and Scully is the deal. So, but I used to, just because it was fun, I would put a little bit of that into Skinner whenever he had scenes with Scully, like he was just that smitten poor old man who had this crush on this gorgeous, brilliant, you know, young agent. And not that I'm that much older than she is, but yeah. Yeah, so I would always kind of sprinkle the character with a little bit of that, just because it was fun. What did you think? Did you think that he had a crush on her or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one could hypothesize that he had a soft spot for both Mulder and Scully.
Well, absolutely.
But I thought there was a little bit more with Scully.
Yeah, definitely. You're right.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Hi.
Hi. Every actor's process is different for character development. How much was developed, directed, or ad-libbed in both your roles in Supernatural and Kings of Con?
Supernatural. It was. I went onto a set that at the time was being run by Kim Manners. It was a big part of my life. I was working with a crew that was comprised of mostly the crew from the X-Files. So I was home, and I felt comfortable. I felt good. And I was working with two guys that are gold. So my process coming into there is they pretty much left me alone and let me do it, what I do, and which I find happens a lot on shows that I work on, because I don't know if it's because I've been doing it for so long and people figure that I know what I'm doing, and so they kind of just let me do my thing. So my process is the same as it is with anything. I try to bring as much reality and make it as organic as I possibly can. Put my mind into the reality of the moment, who I'm talking to, what I'm talking to them about, what is affecting me, what's affecting them. I try to put all this shit into my head so that I can like I say, make it as organic as I possibly can and bring as much truth to what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm more successful than other times, because sometimes I go and I'm ashamed of this, and I probably shouldn't admit it, but I'm going to, because I've been doing it for so long and I don't care anymore. I do care. But I mean, sometimes I'm lazy and I'm sloppy with my character preparation, and I think it shows when you look at my performance. Other times I really commit myself to what I'm doing, and that shows too. And those performances I can watch. The other ones I don't watch because I'm pissed off at myself. But essentially, confessions, I am one of the most lazy people that you're ever going to. That's my daughter and my wife. But Kings of Con, they just put a copy of Uniform Obvious to do this, and I was like, okay. So it was a hoot. It was so much fun. It was so much fun working with those guys, and I love them dearly too. So, but yeah.
Thank you very much.
You bet. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I was so thrilled to see you were on the grouping to be here. I was like, yes.
Thank you.
First little tiny comment was that to the other girl's question, Crowley said himself, I took the bald one from above and the other one from below. So you were in heaven, because he actually said it on the episode when they had the vampire all dressed up.
I missed that. I guess I probably should have.
Yeah. So anyway, my real question is that do more people recognize you as Skinner or, Grandpa Campbell?
You know what? I get both. I get Darby from Sons of Anarchy a lot too. So thank you. I've been blessed with a career that's given me some really good jobs and really good roles and really good characters to play that have, I guess, have made somewhat of an impression. I want to get back here and play these drums. They're really bad.
Do it.
This is my thought process. This is how I think. I'm answering a question and then I go off on drums, but it's just like I go off on. I'm very tangential. What the fuck was I talking about? Drums? Drugs? Yeah, but I get Skinner. Pretty much, like I say, all of them. So. And people are very, very, very civilized and very cool with when I interact with them, and I'm able to do a lot of conventions and meet a lot of people who have seen the things that I've been on, and it's always so gratifying to see their response and to interact with them and just talk about this stuff like I'm talking, you know, with you about it.
Thank you.
Did I answer your question at all?
Yeah, you actually did. I just want to tell you I really love your voice.
You're very sweet, thank you. I'm a singer.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. First, I wanted to say hello from Walter's Wenches in Waiting. From
God bless you, darling. That's like, holy moly.
I just want to say this is my best friend of 18 years standing next to me, and the only reason we met is because we were fans of you and Lady Skinner, and we were the two charter wenches.
You're so sweet.
So
thank you. I love that. I love that. You know, I mean, fandom is friggin' amazing. You guys are awesome. You know, you really are. You commit yourselves to what we're doing, and I just, to us, that's like just, it fills my heart. It really does.
Thank you. So my question for you is, you've had an amazing career and you've gotten to play a really wide breadth of characters. So is there a favorite character you have, or a character you would love, if you had the chance to play back in that sandbox again, that you'd love to revisit?
I love playing in sandboxes. I did. I can't get up out of them anymore. You know, I did a probably one of the, as far as television, one of the proudest things that I've done was a guest star role on Criminal Minds. It was very different from what I usually get to play. And I really, that's one of those roles that I really threw myself into and really committed myself to, and did my homework and did everything that I was supposed to do. And I think it shows on screen, and I'm very proud of it. And it still affects me when I watch it. My daughter watches it, and every time she watches it, she cries at the end. So it's like, that, you know, that was a character that I really liked. And I'm going to brag a little bit, and I'm getting ridiculous with this, but I just did a movie with Al Pacino down in Puerto Rico, and I got to spend 2 weeks going nose to nose with him in a courtroom. And it was friggin' glorious. It was, I mean, I had moments that I've been waiting 40 years to have as an actor. And it was, I mean, and I said that to him. I said, Al, I got to tell you, it's like I've been waiting 40 years for these moments, because I mean, we got to just go at each other. And he loves to riff. And after the first day, I was going with him. And after the first day, I said, Al, are you good with me engaging with you when you're riffing? And he goes, I love it. And so we just, I mean, it was as an actor, it was one of the most amazing things that I've experienced so far. And I hope it turns out good. I don't know if the movie's going to be good, but I know that I've seen some of the scenes that I had with them, and I'm really happy with it. So it's
Can you share the name of the movie? So
it's called Axis Sally. Axis Sally. It's about an American woman who during World War II went to Germany and propagandized against the American war efforts. So she was a traitor. And then after the war was over, she was brought back to the States and tried for treason, and I was the prosecuting attorney, and Al was the defense attorney. And I was in friggin' heaven, man. It was crazy. But yeah, that's my answer to that.
Thank you.
All right, it's good seeing you, and thank you so much for hanging in there with me for so long. You guys are awesome. God bless you. Hi.
Hi, Mitch. I'm a big fan of yours for a number of years.
Thank you.
So I know you're probably most well known for all your dramatic work, but I also love your comedy. King's Con had me dying. And then your
That was an accident, because I am like the least funny person in the world.
But what this question is from is when you guest starred on Castle, and he was such a serious character, and then all of a sudden, like halfway, like in a portion of the episode, it's like, oh wait, this isn't real, and it like just got so funny that I was just like, wait, this just happened? And it had me dying laughing.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Rob Bowman, who was one of our main directors on the X-Files, directed that episode. He asked me to come in and do that. There's a lot of stuff that they shot that didn't make it on screen, because I was having way too much fun with it. But it was a lot of fun to do that, and And to turn that guy from being, you know, the hard ass, I'm an agent, I was like saying, can I see my wife? But it was a lot of fun to be able to do that. It was a great group of people to work with. Once again, that show, a lot of the crew on that show was our Los Angeles-based X-Files crew. So that was, once again, very cool to be able to go work with them.
Thank you so much.
You bet, thank you. Hi.
Hi. So I know that your daughter's a huge Supernatural fan, and I don't know if that's because you were on it or if that predated it, but I saw that you guys got to do a set visit while you were in Vancouver, and I wanted to know how that went.
She came to the set a lot because she loves the guys and they're so good to her. I mean, it's like she had some surgeries and they would send her tapes, you know, telling her to get better, and they were just, that's the kind of guys they are. But so she adores both of them so much. But I know that the first time that she was on set, I think that I had a shirt change or something. The shirt got blood on it or something. I took my shirt off. My wife was there also, and she goes, "Oh, you look pretty good." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Let's get Jared over here, see how you look." I said, "I hate you. I want a divorce." So of course, as we're leaving, at the end of the day, we're leaving, we're in the van, getting ready to go back to the hotel. Jared comes walking off the set, he's got a t-shirt on, he sees my wife and my daughter in the car. He looks at us, he takes his shirt, he goes, and rips it off. So I hate him too. But yeah, you know, and then another time we came out to visit them when I wasn't doing the show, and I think it was the first episode, because Jensen was directing. They were shooting downtown, and one of my daughter's best friends, we brought her up from Texas, it was her birthday, and I said, you know what, I'm sorry, and she's a huge, an insane Supernatural fan, and as you all are, which I love. But so she came into Vancouver with us, and I said, I know you wanted to meet the guys, I know, but I said Supernatural's not shooting yet. I said they haven't gone into production yet, so we're gonna go to the X-Files set today. It was when I was doing the X-Files when we came back. So anyway, I said, you know, we're gonna go to the set. It's the X-Files set. You'll be able to meet David and stuff like that. So we get to the set, and we went to I took her to, because Supernatural was shooting, they were shooting downtown. And we got to the set, she still didn't know, we walked in, they were rolling, and then they cut, and then Jared and Jensen came walking out, and just the look on this little girl's face was just, I think I've got a picture of it in my phone, a bunch of pictures, and she just about friggin' melted. And it's just, I mean, it was like, and they just hugged her, and it was like, oh, she was in heaven. I said, okay, this is your birthday present for the next 10 years. But yeah, so it's always been a treat to, you know, for them to come to the set and hang out. My daughter actually is going to makeup school now. She's doing special effects makeup now. It was her dream to work on Supernatural at some point. I guess that's not going to happen, but she's half Canadian, so she can go up and work in Canada, there's a lot more work up there for makeup art, for crew in general. So I'm excited for her and in that respect, and she's also singing. I don't know if she's here yet. She's supposed to be here in a few minutes or so. But anyway, yeah, I love my daughter. I'm proud of her, so proud of her, and to be able to bring her to Supernatural set was a real treat.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
But my question's really for Samuel.
Okay. Good luck.
Okay. Dean has a lot of musicality about him. Singing, sometimes badly, though we know he can sing well. Music all the time. And this question came to me before you said something. So I'm wondering, does that come down from your side of the family? And if so, would you like to show us?
Unless I have rehearsal, I refuse to sing. David Duchovny's, I don't know if you guys know, but David's out on tour doing, you know, he's singing now. And he's been trying to get me to get up on stage with him and sing with him. And I said, dude, unless I have rehearsal, I'm not getting up on the stage with anybody. But I actually started doing, not Samuel, started doing music, started out in musical theater. And I've been singing since I can remember. When I was in the 3rd grade on rainy days, during recess, I would get up in the auditorium and sing Elvis Presley songs for my classes. But I will say yes, the musicality came from Samuel's side of the family.
Well, thank you very much. John didn't sing that musical.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
I loved X-Files. It was just awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
My question is, earlier you said you met Jensen and Jared, and then Misha. That happened. So tell us about meeting Misha.
So what? And what was the last?
Tell us about meeting Misha.
Misha, you know, I think that first episode that I did, I think that Castiel had just, am I wrong? Had he just started the show fairly recently? I don't know if you guys remember. I know you remember. You guys know everything about the show. But I think, you know, I didn't really have a whole lot of interaction with him at that point. Because I was too busy freaking out about having to kiss Mary. To suck the life out of her or whatever he was doing. I don't know what he was doing. But that was traumatic. Anyway. Not because she's not beautiful, she's stunning. Anyway, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Tell us about meeting
Oh,
Misha.
okay, and then when I came back and did the other episodes with the Campbell clan, I got to hang out with Misha a little bit and get to know him a little bit better, and what a sweetheart, huh? What a great guy. So it was very, once again, another guy who really has his head screwed on right. Thought it was a treat.
Thanks.
You bet. And he's so funny, right? Hi.
Hi. My son is trying to be an actor, and he also started out in musical theater and has followed your career and absolutely loves you. So he would kill me if I didn't ask how do you, as somebody going from musical theater to screen, how do you break into that business?
Oh, darling. It's a lot of luck, you know. When I came out to LA, I was in Texas. I started doing theater down in Austin back in the early 80s. I did quite a bit of theater there, and then I came out to LA, and it was a struggle. I came out and didn't know anybody. And then one day I walked into a room and Wes Craven was standing there, and that was the beginning of my career. So there were two points in my career that are huge: walking into a room and meeting Wes Craven, walking into a room and meeting Chris Carter. So that is really what set me on my path, you know, and I'm so grateful for those two instances. The moment with Chris Carter almost didn't happen because it was the 3rd time they had called me in to read for a character on the X-Files, and I had read 2 times before, didn't get the job. And so they called me in for Skinner, and I was like, you know what, he's seen me, I'm not going in. What an idiot I am. You know, thank God my agent talked me into going back into the room, and I went back into the room, and I was totally surly, and I was totally, as you guys know, surly pectoral god. I was an asshole. I walked in and I was like, okay, let's do it, you know, and so we did it, and I said, anything else? And he goes, no, it was good. I said, are you sure? And he goes, yeah, it was great. I said, because I can be directed. And no, he goes, it was great. So anyway, it turns out that's exactly what he wanted for the character, and the fact that I went into the room an asshole, there you go. I got to play an asshole for 11 seasons.
Thank you very much for answering.
My pleasure, but you know, just tell him, if he wants to be an actor, if he's got the passion for it, you got to keep at it, you can't give up. Giving up is not an option. So just tell him to keep singing, for God's sakes. There's nothing more beautiful in life than being able to sing, and letting other people enjoy your music. My daughter's just realizing that she's got a voice, and I'm going to talk about my daughter a lot because I love her to death. But she just put out a song that is is really good. And anyway, but tell him just to keep at it. Do not give up if it's his passion.
Excellent, thank you. He admires your work ethic so much, so
Well,
I appreciate it.
Tell him thanks, and don't tell him what I said about being lazy.
Thank you.
It doesn't help.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, so I love you on Sons of Anarchy. I think you're
Isn't he a sweetheart?
I think you're a character that people love to hate there, but how was it playing such a controversial character?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it was a great group of people to work with. And the character was, I mean, at the end of the day, they would, you know, if I was shooting the next day, they'd say, do you want to leave that swastika on your neck? And I'd go, no. Just take it off.
Yeah.
You know, so it was weird because I was always uncomfortable about doing interviews about it because I was afraid that I might upset somebody from the white supremacist community, or I might, you know, inflame somebody who wanted to kill a white supremacist and thought I was really one.
Right.
You know, so I mean, but the guy was a white supremacist, meth dealing pimp.
Right.
So there was a lot of ways you could go with that, as far as disliking this cat. But he was a lot of fun to play, and it was a great group of people to work with.
Well, you are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Mitch.
Hi.
Hi. I met you a couple years ago at a con in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Remember you? Yeah.
You do remember me? Yeah. Anyway, we had talked a little bit about your time on Sons of Anarchy and about how they applied the tattoos and everything to you. And while at the con here, a lot of people have talked about how they can't judge their character in order to portray them accurately. So I was just wondering how you weren't able to judge your character of Darby on Sons of Anarchy, seeming that he was a white supremacist and kind of like a really bad racist guy.
You know, you just can't bring that into the equation.
Yeah.
You start judging, then it starts affecting your performance, and you start thinking about stuff that you shouldn't be thinking about. So I try not. I can judge him now. You know, and I can tell you how like I said, how I felt when I was doing interviews about the character, but yeah, that doesn't come into play. So I just try to leave that out of it. And then, like I said, bring his much white supremacist meth dealing pimpery as I could to the guy.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
So my question is, do you think Mary would ever forgive Samuel for trying to kill her kids, and how do you think that conversation would go?
Honey? Gosh, that's a good question. I don't know though. I just, you mean with his wife?
No, Mary, his daughter.
His daughter. What was his wife's name? Was his wife?
Deanna.
All right. So killed her.
When he was trying to kill her son, when he was trying to kill Sam and Dean, and how she got brought back, if Samuel were to ever come back and they were to talk, how do you think that conversation would go?
Oh, that's right. I did try to kill them, didn't I? Okay. He did. Samuel did. I did. So you guys got to refresh my memory on some of this stuff. It's like, sorry.
So, like,
Kidding. Crowley made me do it. I don't know. Something like that. I mean, yeah, that would be a weird conversation, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Lots of tears, lots of anger.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I don't know how he would try to rationalize what he was doing, other than, you know, the devil made me do it.
Fair enough. But do you think Mary would forgive him, like that forgiveness would eventually happen?
Yeah. No. Maybe.
I mean, she definitely loves her sons for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, no, that was a pretty rotten thing for him to do, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's why a lot of people have a hard time liking Samuel.
I'm sorry?
I think that's why a lot of people have a hard time liking Samuel, is because Sam and Dean are so beloved, and then you, like multiple people, tried killing them, but because
now I'm starting to remember. Now I'm starting to get what was going on with that storyline. Okay, no, yeah, you're right. He did. He tried to, you know, and also, I mean, from the get-go. However, people have brought up the fact that he was so rough on Dean. But go back and watch those episodes. Dean started that shit. Go back and watch it. He was the first one to be a little dick. And then Samuel was like, okay, you want some of this? Let's go. But I think that's where that all came from. And if there's any kids in the audience, I'm sorry about that.
It's all right, Kim and Brianna are on stage next.
Well, I also think that Dean was a little jealous because Samuel got that year with Sam when he thought Sam was dead.
And Sam was back, and he was like, why didn't you tell me you were back? Well, because Sam was broken.
Right? He didn't have a soul.
Yeah. There you go. We figured it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I realize what was going on. Thanks, darling. Hi.
Hello. First thing, I'm gonna meet you again next month in McAllen, Texas Comic-Con.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna make it this year. I wasn't able to make it last year, so that's sick.
I can't wait to see you there. Okay. And my question is, how like when you got a part, like, because X-Files is like the same thing as Supernatural. They do like battle with different things, but X-Files they try to cover up the stuff. And
well, the government and certain other organizations.
Actors you worked with in X-Files, and the actors Sam and Dean, which ones are like which actors you like? I'm not saying like make you pick your favorite. Which ones you like?
Oh, you're trying to make me pick favorites. You're trying to get me in trouble.
No, I'm just
You're
asking.
a shit stirrer.
No, I'm just asking which one you like working more.
You know what? I like everybody that I work with until they prove themselves to be an asshole, and then I'm not. But it's like, you know, I just like working with people, and for the most part, I've been very fortunate that the people that I've worked with in my career, for the most part, have been awesome. So I would not say Al Pacino. How's that? I'll keep myself out of trouble with that.
Thanks.
You bet. You have faith. I'll see you in McAllen. All right, buddy. Take care. Is that it? Hi.
Hi, Mitch. I want to say you look amazing. And
For 75, right?
you actually look more fit and trim and muscular than you did when you were doing the X-Files. So I was wondering, how do you maintain your physique?
I bust my ass. It's called vanity. And I moisturize. I do. Oil of Olay and Vaseline. Did you hear that? Oil of Olay? Oil of Olay? Yeah, no, I just, you know, I haven't been in the gym for a bit because we've been remodeling a house, and I've been doing a lot of stuff, and so I haven't been able to get back in the gym, but we have a gym in our house, so I try to work out as much as I can and just try to take care of myself, because I want to hang out with my daughter and wife for as long as I can until I start drooling on myself. And then I said, pull the plug.
That's wonderful. It shows.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, darling. I appreciate it. That it? You guys done with me?
No.
Anything else? Yeah, I did touch it. I don't know how to play the drums, and I wouldn't do that. Have you guys seen the movie Vision Quest that Loudon Swain, the character Loudon Swain is from? It's a great flick. When I first met Rob, he told me the name of his band, and I said, I love that movie. So it's and I haven't had an opportunity to hear them play. I've been at a bunch of venues that they played at, but usually by the time they play, I'm in bed. So,
Tonight?
I know there is, and I think I'm going to make it because my daughter and friend wants to go, so. And if I still drank, I don't drink anymore, but if I still drank, you might have been able to hear me sing. So
Challenge accepted?
Yeah. Anything else?
Got one.
3 o'clock high, I had a ball doing that. So much fun. Oh, your little buddies, there's no escaping the Duker.
So do you have any stage roles that you'd really like to play, or Shakespearean roles that you'd really like to sink your teeth into?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was talking when I was, going back to that. Did I tell you I did a movie with Al Pacino?
He did The Merchant of Venice a few years ago.
You know, he did Richard III, and he was actually talking about doing it again, and I said, I'd love to. I said, my last words to him, before I left was, Al, let's do a play together, and he goes, let's do it.
I would come see
And
that.
I would love to be on stage with him. But I have always wanted to play Big Daddy in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I love Tennessee Williams, and there's a bunch of stuff that I'd love to do, but that's a character that I would have a ball with, I think. I would like to, at one point I played Pontius Pilate in Jesus Christ Superstar, and I would love to go back and do that again. Because it was a ball. I had so much fun. It was like the closest I've ever felt like to being a rock star. But it was glorious, and I had a great time doing it. But yeah, Is there anything you can see me doing?
Oh, now I'm blanking out, but
Yeah.
you know they're doing a Sunset Boulevard movie. There's that great part of her butler that kind of helps with all the murder and fun stuff.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you go be with Glenn Close in Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
Yeah. Call your agent.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Thank you.
You bet.
Or you could do King Lear, but the daughters, instead of the daughters, you could have Jared and Jensen and Misha.
I'm in.
That'd be so fun.
Maybe bring that up to them.
Okay.
See what they say.
Do it for charity.
They look great in dresses or in whatever they wore. But yeah.
I've read that fanfic.
Thank you.
You know, it's funny because I was doing a play in Austin, I had sent a text to Jared and said, you know, I know the Jen's in town, told her to come see the play, and so he said, yeah, I'll do that, you know, so we were doing a Sunday matinee, and I was living in Dallas at the time because I'd been working on the series Dallas up there, and it was over, but I did this play in Austin. And after matinees, because we were dark on Mondays, I'd drive back up to Dallas, and I would leave right after the matinee. Usually after a performance, I'd go out in the lobby and talk, you know, chat with people and the audience and stuff that hung around. So anyway, after the, you know, I always turned my phone off in the dressing room, and after the play was over, I didn't go out in the lobby. I got in my car, drove home. Got back to Dallas, turned my phone on, and there's a picture of Jared and Genevieve out in the lobby of the theater. With a big smile on her face, standing in front of the banner for the play, and I was like, oh dude, I'm sure he didn't fly down just to see the play from Vancouver. I'm sure he went home to see his wife and kids. But they came to the performance, and I didn't know they were there, and I didn't get to see them, and I was like, I was crushed. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I don't know, why did I start seeing tangential? Yeah, this is another example of what a great guys these guys are. I think I'm being run off the stage. This is like, get the fuck off the stage.
Never! Did somebody else have a question? Is there a lingering last question? Or did you? Do it. Let's do this last one.
I was going to play your drums, but...
All right, take this last one, Mitch.
Okay, this is it.
Thanks for coming out, Mitch. We hope that you'll come back next year. My quick question is, can you tell us what the best prank that the boys have played on you is?
You know, I have to tell you that they were really pretty, I mean, believe it or not, they were really pretty well behaved. I mean, there was a time when I was getting, you know, the worms were crawling out of my ears, and they were rehearsing it, and Jared was behind me with and my wife and daughter were on the set once again, of course, and Jared was behind me with a cord. He was like slapping me in the head with it, you know. I was like, and my wife and daughter were just howling. Of course, they thought it was hilarious. But you know, they were really pretty. They were really very well behaved. So
That's a common...
I'm sorry to disappoint you with that answer.
No, literally, we get that question all the time, and we're always like, yeah, they didn't really prank us. And people are so bummed that we didn't have our lives ruined on set. Thanks for your question.
Anyway, you guys, I'm going to give you back to them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you so much.